Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day is duty. And I think that this one is a challenge for most of us, but I think for those of us who are empathic, this can be even more challenging. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine earlier today about what I perceive as my responsibility, specifically to my mom, and what are the things that I imagine are my obligations and my duties to meet her needs. And I was just kind of asking that more as a rhetorical question, just kind of sitting with it and going, what really is my job? What are my duties? What are my responsibilities? And as I was talking with my friend, I asked her about her responsibilities and, for example, whether or not there was some kind of expectation about how frequently she was supposed to call her mother every week, or how often she's supposed to be visiting, and basically how much she is responsible for taking care of her mother. And what was amazing was she said, I don't have any of that. And it was so amazing to hear her say that, because I was like, wow. So everything that I grew up imagining was just the way it is a rule that comes from my family and my culture and from the places where I grew up, but it's not universal. And that was just like a light bulb just going off. Like, oh my goodness. So if it's not universal, then that may mean that this is something that's a belief that got formed in my family or formed in my ancestry, but that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a rule that I'm responsible for, as much as it is this duty that's been passed from one generation down to another, and everybody's just accepted it as the rules. And the thing is, as a highly sensitive empathic person, caring for other people is probably one of our biggest challenges. And the sense of responsibility, particularly when we feel their pain, when we feel their discontent, when we feel they're having a hard time about anything, it can be hard not to feel like it's our job to make it better. Then you add this sense of familial duty and the beliefs and the rules that go with that. And I think it can be a burden that is very big to bear and can really be very draining because of all of these shoulds that we wear on our shoulders about taking care of certain people in our family. So having this conversation and just realizing, wow, my sense of duty is not a sense of duty that every single woman on the planet has. It is not that this is just how it is to be a daughter, that it's about what I grew up understanding is what's expected as a child, not necessarily is just the way it is for everybody. So as I sit with that and I look at it and just continue to ask myself, what is my responsibility? What is the thing that I feel comfortable doing? What is my job? What is not my job? And recognize that sometimes what I imagine is my job is actually a rule that maybe got formed a long time ago, but it's not necessarily true. That allows me a certain kind of freedom that if I kept believing that it was my duty, my responsibility, and that this rule was just a universal law that had to be followed, it would be a lot harder to step away from it. So my question to you right now is, what are the duties that you believe you have to your family of origin, or to whoever it is that you have connections to, that you feel a loyalty to? And are there rules that you think are universal, or you imagined were universal, and that you feel like if you break them that somehow you're doing something wrong? And what if these rules are actually not universal? What if these rules were things that you got taught, and maybe your parents got taught and their parents got taught, but that it's not necessarily the way it works across the universe? And what would it be like to do what works for you, and to really recognize what your limits are, how many spoons you got in your drawer, and put the oxygen mask on yourself first before taking on any other responsibilities or anybody else's needs? So I would love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Please leave a comment below. And until next word of the day, I am wishing you peace. I am wishing you ease. And I am wishing you clarity about what is truly your responsibility, what do you really want or need to do, and what is a false sense of duty that you no longer need to carry around. So until later, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jennifer Moore, Modern Medicine Lady, and I will be eternally grateful for your help to get this video out into the world. So please like it, please share it, and please pass it along to other people who would find it useful. Thank you so much, and until tomorrow, peace.